Hey everybody, it is Julie from Africa. I tried recording this yesterday and it wasn't working, so I'm doing it on YouTube, so I hope it works out well. Alright, let's see if I can remember everything I said. Something I learned this past week that sometimes I struggle with and sometimes I don't, but is especially important when you get a review of any kind. And so I got a review of sorts this past week. And I think it's important to kind of keep this in mind when anybody ever critiques you in any way. Because critiquing can, I think, cause you to question yourself and question who you are and what your goals are and everything like that. Just so you know, I teach 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Sometimes I teach high school more and less middle school, but this year I'm teaching a lot of middle school, which is fine. So, in any case, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Very difficult years to teach. They're very hormonal. They bully. They are mean to each other. Their viewpoints can change on a dime about life, and they're just generally hard people to deal with, very emotional. So anyway, as part of our teacher evaluations, we have to ask them how we're doing, which is great because we get good feedback. So I sent out my surveys. They're anonymous, and except by gender. I sent out my surveys and had them write me back. And the thing that that is the most important for me is that I connect with them. Honestly, I mean, yes, I'd like them to learn stuff, but I think that kids generally learn more if they're emotionally connected with their teacher. So, my 7th and 8th grade came back and they were like, oh yeah, she walks on the moon, basically. And that was great because I tried really hard. But my 9th grade came back, and some of the, you get a couple of kids that are always going to be negative. But what struck me is that a lot of the girls were either negative or undecided. Yeah, there were some agreeing that, I try very hard to connect and blah, blah, blah. But I was surprised at it. I was just shocked because that's not who I am. I try really hard to connect with the kids. And I came back with kind of a mixed bag on what kind of relationship I establish with them. So it really threw me for a loop, and I was like really upset about it for several days. And so I said, at one point I was even going to go in and, talk to the girls in a group, and I was going to, because I'm the kind of person, I just don't like leaving things sit there. I like to clear the air. I like to, everybody kind of be honest, I don't like to have sneakiness go on. Anyway, long story short, so I thought about doing that, and then I thought about doing other stuff. But in the end, I decided to not do anything, and this is why. And I'm going to give you some more background. I think what happened is one of the girls, who's normally a straight-A student, got a poor test grade on something, and then on top of it, I had misrecorded a grade for her, so she was like in the 50s or 40s for my class. And I allow the kids to retake tests. So she was going to retake the test anyway, and she was going to do a fine job. I knew that. She just was thrown for a loop by the first test. And but she never came to me and said, hey, Mrs. Hendricks, I think you misrecorded a grade. And I'm a human being, so that stuff is going to happen. Finally, she did, and I saw my error, and I corrected it, and I apologized, and I said, hey, listen, if you ever see this again, please let me know. I said, you know, I don't want you to sit there for a week or so and feel like you're failing my class when in actuality you aren't. You know, communication is a two-way street, basically. And I think what happened is she went to the other girls and complained about it, which is fine. She could, you know, she's got to complain. I mean, I don't care that she complained. But I think what it did is that created this groupthink kind of thing where Mrs. Hendricks doesn't care about us, which is far from the truth. And so that gave me quite a bit to think about. Groupthink can be really hard. Groupthink, when a group of people start thinking one way about you, and it, in a lot of ways, can cause you to reevaluate how you are and what you are doing and all of that kind of stuff. And for me personally, I've like, you know, this is a tough place to live anyway. The school is a tough place to teach in. And I was like, do I really want to keep doing this? You know? So I really had a lot to think about this past week. And this is the conclusion I came to. Because I wanted to have this whole group love in and solve it all like I normally do. And then I came to the conclusion, no. You know who you are. You know what kind of person you are. You know your intentions, and you know how hard you work. No, I'm not perfect. I wouldn't expect any of us to be perfect. The kids aren't perfect, you know. So I came to the conclusion that, you know, I know myself best. I know who I am. I know how I think, and I know my intentions, and I'm not going to let a group of people decide who I am for me. And I think oftentimes we can get ourselves into situations, whether it's, you know, on the internet, with a group of friends, our families. Decide who we are. Let their narrative of the events decide that we are something different than who we know ourselves to be. And so that's kind of where I ended it. I decided to go back to work. Well, not that I hadn't gone off of work, but I went back to work, and I decided I'm just being me. I am going to be me. I'm going to continue being me. And if ninth grade doesn't like it, if the girls in ninth grade still think that I'm a mean teacher, I can't change their mind. And frankly, it's none of my business what they think about me. It's none of my business because I know who I am. And I need to keep who I am, the person that I know myself to be, true to me. And if I start changing because someone says, oh, you were bad, you know, or, oh, you didn't do what we wanted you to do, then I'm not being me at all. And so that's what I took away from it, that we can't cave in and let others' opinions, even if it's one or two people, decide who we are. We know who we are, and we have to stay true to that. And that's my thought for today. Staying true to who you are, not letting others determine your road. Have a great day. Love to you all from Africa. Bye.